Okay, guys, Stray Kids are back. Let's waste no time. Let's get into this. Levanter, I'm gonna start this in 3, 2, 1, now. I've been so hyped for this video. I need answers. I need to know what this elevator is all about. Okay, so this is on the other side, like from the elevator music video. Yeah. Oh, I like the vocal editing here, the vocal processing. There's some very light vocoding on there. Makes it feel otherworldly. Oh! Okay, this is going way bigger than I thought. That brass coming in there, that synth. Okay, I'm here for this. Ooh, that guitar coming through. Oh yeah, this is a classic big Stray Kids song. This is exactly what I want from them. But it feels more optimistic. It feels hopefuler. I'll never get off that low voice coming out of him. I'll never get over Felix in general. Is that a crow or a raven? Almost feels like gunshots in there. Oh, that choreography, that is so good! Them forming the line that mirrors between them. Oh, that's so good. Oh, yes. Oh, I love this chorus. It feels so rough and dark, and then it has that synth melody coming through every now and then. It feels so light. Is this about escapism? Oh my god, I'm gonna have to watch this and read the lyrics. It's a million times to get everything. It's all good now. Oh! And I love this. This is the same thing, but without the color tint that makes it look unreal. This is now the real world. Oh! Damn, that dance break. That was well arranged. Please don't be over yet. And they're seeing the 2 moons, yeah. Oh! Oh! Are they gonna turn into one? No! Where's the rest? I want more! Step out of clay. I've actually been wondering for a while, whenever they show these 2 moons in Stray Kids music videos, does that represent them having escaped into a fantasy world? Or do they just have a world with 2 moons within their work? Okay. Okay, first up, the song, because that's gonna be more straightforward than talking about the music video. This is great. This is really good. This song, it has so much hope and just that feeling of stepping forward into the future, moving on. But at the same time, it is such a heavy production in parts, and I love that. When it comes to the chorus, when that guitar comes through, when those heavy beats come through, and excuse me, I don't know where that came from, I think I got too excited. When that heavy guitar came through, when it just becomes so much bigger. Every now and then you hear this little synth piano coming through, just one note at a time. And it feels like it's calling to you. It's so light in between all this much darker, grungier stuff. And that is beautiful. That part is absolutely beautiful. And then their vocals also has such a larger-than-life, big pop melody there. That it's just, it feels like it's dragging you along in this wonderful direction. Stray Kids, they've really pulled all their material together into a bigger narrative and emotional arcs. Like their first 3 albums, I Am Not, I Am Who, I Am You, are first about, or in my interpretation, are first about rejecting society's ideal of what you should be, then about finding your personhood, finding your own personality, finding who you are, and ultimately finding it in each other, either in them as a group or in them and their fans. And then I think with Clear they were doing something similar, where when Miro, we kind of saw them take these same issues that they took on a personal level in the I Am series, and then they were expanding them. Like on Miro, we kind of had the beginning of a revolution, rather than this personal setting of rejecting society's expectations. For myself, it's rejecting society's expectations as a group and kind of building a movement around that. That is what I took away from the Mirror music video and from that general era. And then we moved on to Yellow Road, and that was very much about all the problems you face on the way after you've agreed each other to lift each other up and to work together for that. We had like some personal conflicts there and all that stuff while they were traveling. And then Levanter is very much, they arrive, but this is not at all what I expected, because this video, they're kind of confronted by the real world, which I assume is like a cityscape, and then an alternate world, a fantasy world, which you can tell most importantly by this color grading here, because this just looks so unreal, because they've dunked everything deep into the blues and pinks, and it's beautiful, but it's not real. So they finally found this elevator, they're going through it, and they're arriving on the other side in this seemingly beautiful fantasy world. But then they're realizing somewhere through the song that what they've been searching for, they didn't have to search elsewhere, they had it inside them all along. They don't need this fantasy world. They don't need to escape to this. So towards the end of the song, we then get... Actually, I can't find the shot where it's visible here. This is the same space behind the elevator doors and outside. But outside you have this unrealistic fantasy color grading, and here it looks much more realistic. So they're making the decision together to return from their escapism, to not run away into a fantasy world anymore, and to deal with the real world, with the problems in the real world, with the knowledge that they have it in themselves and they have it together. As you can see them like going through here together, helping each other go through here together, and back into the real world where everything is now okay. And I guess at the very end, when you see those moons coming together, that kind of symbolically ends that alternate fantasy universe symbolized by the second moon, by this red moon. Or at least that's how I'm taking it here. I could be completely off. But and then they return to the real world where it's this beautiful... It's interesting that it ends on this, because pretty much their entire work so far, these 6 or 7 mini albums, if you want to count the pre-debut, they've been moving towards cityscapes. At first, they were very much in that school setting, and they were looking out towards cityscapes, and ultimately they ended up there now. But this ends with them leaving these cityscapes again and enjoying nature, but a real version of nature. And it kind of feels like here, whenever you see the city, it's dirty, it's destroyed, and it really feels like this difference between like the dark reality, the glim, not so nice reality that they're being drawn away from. But then they ultimately realize we have to deal with the problems in the real world. We can't just run away. That's how I'm taking it, based on one listen and one viewing of the music video. I could be completely wrong, but I love it either way. This song has amazing vocal performances. Interestingly, much less rapping than you would usually expect from a Stray Kids song. I think they did that deliberately, because if you want to impart hope, you do that much bigger with these big triumphant vocal melodies and these sung melodies. It's just so beautiful to have this. It really feels like a conclusion of 2 years of music. It feels like such a hopeful and warm way of bringing all of it together, and of turning it into, once again, a very universal message. They talk about themselves personally, or in the Claire series, they bring it more on a societal level. But they're very much talking about themselves, but they're doing it in a way that you can relate to. And this is another great example of that, because I think, if my interpretation is in any way correct, but the way I look at art, there is no correct interpretation. It's just, I think I can support my interpretation with the text, and that is all that matters. So, according to my interpretation, this is just incredibly warm and hopeful and really brings 2 years all together and has this very universal message of, you know, escapism, it can help, but ultimately we need to deal with the real world. We need to escape to it. We need to not escape. We need to return to the real world. We need to deal with the stuff here. And we can do that, and it shouldn't be debilitating to us. And if we rely on each other and if we have faith in ourselves, we can do that. And that's a wonderful message to have. And I think it comes together wonderfully here. And I'm just so happy that I got into Stray Kids this year, because all of this music would have been amazing either way. But being there as it gets released, it really gives you time to ponder on the individual steps of this emotional journey that they're taking together and that they're taking us on. And this is a great example of that. And I don't even know what else to say. I've probably been blabbering on for like 12 minutes or something. That's how it usually goes with Stray Kids. But this is excellent. This is absolutely excellent. This is all I could have hoped for. And I guess Clay is over now. And that's why we get here, step out of Clay at the very end here. It's like they're calling for you to return to reality. I'm here for it. Thanks for watching. As always, special thanks to my top tier Patreon supporters. And I'll talk to you guys in another video soon.